Welcome back to IGN Live from Gamescom. Brian and I are here with Peter, who's a producer on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and he's going to play the game for us while we shoot him a bunch of questions.
Do it live.
Yeah,
We're going to do it live. Dude, I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah, this game seems awesome. You're going to hop in and play against the CPU a little bit right here.
I am going to play the CPU. Unfortunately, you know.
It's still going to be impressive.
Yeah, there's no bodies to take out, but
nobody.
You know.
I mean, there are a bunch of bodies in this room, but no one is willing to go up
No,
against
man,
exactly,
no one wanted to step up against you. You're a pro.
Yeah, there's a lot of controllers in here, but I'm the only one holding one. So yeah, you know, really excited for Gamescom because we're showing off 4 new characters that are playable at on the floor here. We have Jetta, you know, from Darkstalkers.
Oh man, you ruined it. I was going to quiz Brian on this earlier.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Let's run through a couple of these characters here. I wanted to test Brian's knowledge of these Capcom characters.
Let's do it.
Arthur. What you tell me what the game that they're from.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Dante.
Devil May Cry.
There you go. Firebrand.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh, and he's one of the newer characters we're revealing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jetta is from Darkstalkers. What about?
It's actually the planet from Rogue One.
What about Nathan Spencer?
You lost me.
Bionic Commando.
Bionic Commando. That's right. Yeah.
Look at the arm. Look at this.
And then one more.
Even has the emblem.
Yeah, one more. Sigma.
Sigma. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on this one too.
That'd be Mega Man X.
That's right.
And bad guy from Mega Man X.
I thought you were going to ask me about
Hagar.
Hagar.
Two heroes.
Yeah.
I could talk about Hagar for 15 minutes.
All right. Who are you going to play right now?
So I will play Jetta, show him off a little bit,
There you go.
along with Ghost Rider, who we're also revealing here at Gamescom, and I'll show the Soul Stone.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a stone that we're revealing here at Gamescom, which it's pretty awesome. It revives a character. You know, if you, let's say a character gets KO'd, you can bring them back to life with the Infinity
useful.
Stone. So it's pretty strong in a game like this.
Peter, that's cheating.
Is it?
No.
Is it though? Like, I mean, because you know your opponent could play the Soul Stone as well. That just means you have to beat them down that much harder.
You see, the gameplay has been switched to 2-on-2 fights this time around.
Correct.
What was the reasoning behind that?
We wanted to make sure that it was easier for players who are new to the series to be able to pick up the game and play with 2 characters and really, experience teamwork with their team. With the 3v3 combat we had before, it was a bit daunting for players, having to pick assist types and which 3 characters should they pick and how do they really make them work. In this game, by bringing it back to 2v2, it's a lot more digestible, a lot easier to understand. But we have the switch system, right, where you could kind of switch anytime you want. And that allows players to really drive up their team synergy in a way that we haven't been able to do with previous entries. So even though it's 2 characters and it's a bit easier to digest in terms of the complexity and things like that that you want to get out of the game, it's a bit higher.
So I feel like that's pretty awesome even for people who play sort of more traditional fighting games because they will get an opportunity to learn 2 different characters
Yes.
in the same match almost immediately.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely, with all the kind of strategies you can employ with the Infinity Stones, right? With each Infinity Stone, as you can see Ryu right now, he's using the Infinity Surge and he's shooting a homing projectile. And when I use my Infinity Surge, I send out a life-draining whip. It really changes your team dynamic, right? You can suddenly have guys who double down on strengths, or you can make up for character weaknesses, and being able to do that really drives up the strategy in this game in a way that hasn't been done in previous entries.
There's just a big gross mouth back there.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Oh, this is background right here.
Yeah.
It's the Dark Kingdom, and it combines the what is that area in Doctor Strange's movie?
Oh, right.
At the end?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Where he
I
goes at
know.
the end of the movie? Is
Yep.
that-
Yeah. So it's the Outer World.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't see it, sorry. But yeah, it's the Outer World combined with the Dark Kingdom where Jetta's from.
Yeah.
So we combine both of those worlds, and what you see there is the kind of the giant symbiote getting fed.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
What other movies will we show the end of right now?
So each player picks their 2 fighters, and then they pick a stone.
Yes. So let's go back to the character select screen, so you guys can see it. Yeah. So you pick your 2 favorite heroes, right? two guys who you're highly interested in. And there's no assist types. That was what was present in the previous entries, right? In this one, you just pick your two favorite characters. I like Ryu a lot. And also, I will go
Classic.
for Dormammu. And then, you know, you have one of your 6 Infinity Stones. And as I mentioned, there's 2 actions per stone. The Surge action, which you can use anytime. You know, you can keep using it, and it really adds to your team. Because, you know, if you use, like, let's say the Power Stone, you get a knockback attack. If you use the Space Stone, you can pull the guy in. It really changes how your team kind of functions. And then there's the Infinity Storm, which is like this grand action, you know, and it really powers up your characters. It helps you come back, make a comeback in a match, or really press the advantage. And it makes you feel really powerful because you break a combat law associated with that stone. So case in point with the Space Stone, you can enclose the opponent in a space cage, and they can't really move anywhere.
So I call it cheating, you call it breaking the law. What's the difference between those things?
Oh, well, breaking the law, that just means, you know, you're
It's more like a law of physics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
cheating,
legal.
Yeah, cheating means like you know the law, and you know you're actively kind of like skirting it. This one, you're just controlling the law.
Yeah.
But I'll pick Power Stone.
All right, so we got Ryu and Dormammu with the Power Stone. And what's our environment? What level are we playing on this time?
The CPU? Oh, it only has
No,
one.
no, no. I mean the stage.
Oh, the stage.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's an umbrella. So, you know, aim from the Marvel universe paired with Umbrella from the Resident Evil universe, and you know you're fighting in this stage that combines.
And so that's
interesting.
is that what all the stages are?
Yes,
Sort of combinations of Capcom and
Exactly. This is
Marvel.
yes. Every stage is a mixed world where we combine two aspects of like key areas in both universes.
I really want to see that movie now.
Yeah, the Marvel and Capcom movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's called story mode. And when you play that, you know, you'll be able to see this awesome story unfold as to why both characters from these universes are in the same place at the same time. And it tells a story of why Ultron and Sigma have paired up in an effort to destroy all biological life.
Now, so how do you sort of find the balance between all of these characters? Because they're completely ridiculous. You look at someone like Hagar, and he's just like a mayor that lives in a city.
But he's not just a mayor.
Yeah, he is a mayor, yeah. I mean, well,
He's like
he's
the
a
buffest mayor.
he is
Yeah,
the buffest mayor.
yeah,
But
he's-
he smashes cars here and there. He's got,
Yeah.
you know, sticks, and he eats chickens off the street like a weird dude. But, like, then he's going up against, like, Iron Man, who's, like, shooting lasers out of his hands. Like, how do you find that balance there?
Well, you know, that's the beauty of this game, right? Like, them being in the same universe puts them kind of on the same fighting level, right? So what we try to do is we try to make sure that, you know, these guys are dealing good damage, they're moving around fast enough, so that even though they might be fighting, you know, otherworldly opponents, they're able to be capable. And, you know, what we try to do is we just try to make sure that, you know, the characters are true to their game and they have their signature attacks, so that they're fun, but at the same time, they can put up a fight.
God, that gun's awesome.
Dude, it's like
pretty
the
good.
cannon. Yeah, but as you can see, oh man, Iron Man turned on the Infinity Surge with the Reality Stone, and he controlled all the elements. So he was shooting lightning, ice, fire. You know, he was utilizing everything. Whereas when I activate my Power Stone, I can knock him against the wall, and all my attacks are very, very strong. I become the embodiment of power. So it really changes up how your characters kind of function.
Brian, that big face man's just watching everything from back
MODOK.
there.
Yeah, that's MODOK.
MODOK.
I somehow remember him and don't remember the other obscure characters that you named before. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we see MODOK in the Marvel movies. Yeah, he's a very weird dude.
Yeah, MODOK?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's actually an organism designed to kill humans, or designed for killing humans. Yeah.
It's about time.
All right, what's next?
Let's see. So let me go back to the roster here, and let me pull out Firebrand. So there's Firebrand. Yes, and
That little man.
I really love
Who
this
else do you
guy, by
guys-
the way.
Who else do you guys like? Like, who do you want to see real quick?
I mean, I really like Hagar.
Yeah.
Dude, the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He's actually. You know what's funny is that on my team, if I was to play this for real, against,
Yeah.
someone else who was experienced, I would play Hagar Nemesis. That's
Really?
actually the team I want to play.
Interesting.
Because, when you use like the Space Stone, which is really interesting about it, is you can pull the opponent in. So typically, what opponents want to do is run away from a grappler. They want to stay away from a guy like Hagar, but you can use the Space Stone to pull them in or
Nice.
trap them, right? And then
I
he
like-
can kind of just run
Yeah,
amok.
I really like
The skull.
yeah, Firebrand's intro animation, because that's kind of how he jumped off in his games too. Like, what I like about Firebrand was this is like one of the first times I've ever played a sort of spin-off video game, especially one starring an enemy.
Like what? Like Demon's Crest? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
like taking the
Gargoyle's Quest?
yeah, taking the enemy from Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then giving him his own game was like
Yeah.
it's such a bold idea. Well, there's Hagar's signature. That's what got him
Pile
elected.
driver?
Yeah, and
Well,
then
he just pile drove.
Where's
the
he getting all of
competition.
these these barrels from?
Yeah, so he has these barrels now because in like previous games, when you were fighting opponents who ran away, he couldn't really catch them.
Right.
Right. So he was always at a disadvantage. So what we did was we revitalized the character by giving him barrels. So now he can catch guys who try to stay away from him or jump away. Same thing with when he picks up a barrel. Let me see that. He can use it to block
Oh,
projectiles.
that's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But usually, I mean, in the final fight, he's breaking those open and finding those delicious rotisserie chickens.
Well, in this game, there's apples in there.
Oh, that's good.
And
So he's
there's
eating healthier these days.
yeah, he can't be eating was it street turkeys all the
Street
time?
turkey.
Yeah.
Street meat.
Yeah,
get
that can
salmonella.
yeah, dude, get sick off that.
Mm-hmm. Street apples are safe, though.
Yeah, apples though, they're a bit better.
I like it when the big Infinity Storm
Yeah.
text pops up on screen. It reminds me of like old Nintendo Power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I am getting mopped. By
Yeah,
the
this game is like just gorgeous. A lot of the sort of particle effects and lighting effects happening.
So you see, when I activate the Infinity Storm, you see how he's trapped.
Oh wow.
So I can
really cool.
find him, right?
So you can still
and then I
enter
can
that.
just kind of walk up to him and
Oh.
kind of just beat him up in the box. And he can't really do much. It's pretty dastardly. I think it's one of the more exciting stones in this game. Not to say that they all aren't exciting, but
Sure.
it's so obnoxious.
So now Firebrand has obviously a lot more of a sort of like aerial style.
Correct. Yeah, he's more at home in the air. He can alter his movement in the air, come down, fly around. He can grab the opponent, kind of swoop down on them. Yeah, he's pretty I would say complex. But at the same time, just his standard movement and attacks are really easy to digest. But for those guys who want that depth, who really want a character that they can really confuse the opponent with and learn a lot of tools for, Firebrand's definitely up there.
So he's a little more higher level for like you wouldn't suggest like a
He's
a new
definitely,
player.
I wouldn't say he's a beginner character. Now, mind you, there's mechanics in here that are suitable for beginners that make him usable for a beginner, but at the highest level, I would say, he's pretty complex.
I don't think I realized how ripped Hagar is. That's really intimidating.
Right? Do you see how vascular he is?
Yeah.
The guy, he's
That's
yeah,
a good word to describe
yeah,
it.
it's definitely the apples. It's
It's the
it's the apples in the barrels, man.
An apple a day.
So now, who do you sort of recommend for players just starting out? You and I did a video series together at IGN where you actually taught me how to play Street Fighter.
Yeah, and you got pretty good pretty fast.
I did.
I think in this game you'd actually get really good a lot faster. I think that in this game, if you played no lie for about 15 minutes, utilizing the simple combos or utilizing the simple hypers, right?
I could take down Evo single-handedly.
I don't think you could take
Yeah,
it down,
sweet
but you
Evo.
could definitely get out of your pulls, and that's better than how you did in Street Fighter. So
Was that on Street Fighter 5?
Yes. So who's a good character for someone like me to start out with?
Let's see. Let's go back to the character select. I think that, and these characters are pretty strong. They hit pretty hard, and they don't require a lot of memorization. I think the characters that fit that rule are Hulk. He hits like a truck. He has armor on his attacks. He's really easy to work with other characters. So I would recommend him. I'd recommend Thanos. right? And Thanos is new to this game. He hits, once again, really, really hard, but he has cool moves like easy teleportation, and he's pretty awesome. I'd also recommend Strider. So
Interesting.
Yeah, Strider's extremely fast, and he hits pretty far. So even if you're kind of flailing and hitting buttons, all of your attacks will connect. So he's definitely the character I mean, these 3 characters I'd recommend.
I wish we had 2 controllers and Brian and I could play.
I know.
Dude, I wish you guys could play.
Yeah.
Like, you guys...
I really dig Strider's art style in this game, by the way.
Strider always looks cool, man.
Yeah, he
He's
really
just a
does.
really cool dude.
I really miss ninjas. That was like such a cool thing for a long time in
Well,
the 80s and 90s.
What's funny in this game, it's like Gamora and Strider in the story kind of team up, and they're like team ninjas, right? You have a space ninja and Capcom's ninja, and they kind of go after character Grandmaster Mayo. I mean, the enemy Grandmaster Mayo. So, yeah, they work together. But as you can see, like from the range that Strider's hitting from, he has like a really good range. Could throw out a Cyber Tiger.
And what?
That bird.
What's the Capcom and Marvel mashup in this stage? I see Stark Industries back there.
Yeah, so this is Metro City from Final Fight. So I don't know if you see the statue of the character Damned back there, and also the punks from.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What were they called? It was like the Mad Gear gang?
Mad Gear gang.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do I see? How do I know
Dude,
that?
Yeah, dude. And then this also is New York. So you have the Avengers Tower back there.
Yeah.
If you look at the back, you see the various posters. So you have Captain America trying to recruit people into the fight against Ultron. You also have J. Jonah Jameson and Hagar back there. If you look at the billboards in the back.
That's such a great mashup.
Yeah.
Where's the guy from Final Fight that's like, oh, my car?
Brett? I don't know. We don't have him in there.
Well, I'm throwing you some ideas for DLC. Just put him next to that car back there. Have him crying. Yeah, it's great that I can't remember like specific Mega Man characters, but I can tell you the name of the Mad Gear gang. So what's going on right now?
So right now, yeah, she turned on the Infinity Storm with the Power Stone, and right now all of her hits are magnified in terms of strength. As you can see, yeah, every hit has a lot of impact, higher damage. Also, the character, you can't really defend against them as you would defend against characters normally. So it's a pretty strong stone to use.
You got a tutorial mode or a practice mode where you can practice all the moves of the different characters?
Definitely, yeah. So in this game, what we have is we have a mission mode. And what's awesome about the mission mode is that will allow players to go in and understand how to play the game in general, right? How to use the Infinity Stones, how to actually move around, super jump, all that kind of things, right? It's a great tutorial to introduce people to the mechanics of the game.
Sure.
But then from there, you can pick your favorite character and actually go through individual missions and see their special moves, team synergies, possible team synergies, combos, things like that. So it can teach you, the basics as well as the complexities per character.
That's really cool.
And then on top of that, we also have training mode, which you can then use to, figure out scenarios. You could train the dummy to do certain things and learn how to fight that. And even while you have that on, while you're in that mode, you can turn on online matches, so people can challenge you. So while you're practicing your combos and strategies, people can challenge you, and then you can just immediately do it on them while it's still fresh.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, there's definitely a bit going on for single player content.
Cool. Thank you so much for bringing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite by the IGN stage and playing for us today.
No problem.
Showing
man.
off
Thanks for
your
having me.
skills. Stay tuned. Much more to come from IGN live at Gamescom. Coming up next.